Two local Lexington businesses say they're facing hurdles trying to promote their brands. They're located in the Cornerstone building on UK's campus, and one of them is student-owned. But they've run into trouble with putting up signage outside their building to bring people in. WKYT's Jeremy Toms talking with them about some of those issues.
Since October of 2023, UK senior Mohammed Waheba's fast food joint has been serving up something his fellow Wildcats couldn't previously find on campus: some late-night greasy grub.
Students ended up actually enjoying, the ability to have food this close to the dorms, open late with delivery.
Waheba says Late Night is the only student-owned and operated restaurant on campus. And while he thought he found the perfect spot for it,
we have been having problems getting the word out. I've had to go through some crazy steps to be able to advertise to foot traffic.
South Limestone is among the busiest streets in the city, yet as thousands of cars drive down it, this is what they see of the building.
There is very little exterior signage to attract people, even though it's all around them.
Right next to us, you see huge illuminated signage for all the bars, the clubhouse.
And their sign sits in the shadow of a giant UK digital billboard.
I'm not in the know as much, but it just seems unreasonable.
Ethereal Slice House shares this space with Late Night. It says too often they hear this from customers.
I did not even know that this was here.
Waheba has made his own attempts to buy and use his own advertising. While his landlord has allowed it, he says the university has not.
And it's always been a no matter what type of signage I propose. I haven't been able to get an actual reason.
So they hope they can have conversations with university leaders because their businesses need this boost.
If we just sat down and talked, there should be a reasonable solution for both sides.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
UK told us in a statement they are, quote, working with vendors to continue to improve their experience, end quote, but they go on to say they must ensure all these efforts match their brand standards and quality they want and expect in their facilities.